What does it mean to me to be a Black woman in today's society? It means that I need, or no, not that I need, but I feel that I am responsible for owning my full Black womanness, embracing who I am fully, and living that truth for the millennial generation to see, and being proud of who I am as a Black woman.
We've been put under a microscope, so to speak, for being the focus of revolution, strength, things that we've always have been within our community, but now the public is becoming to know us like that. As a result of that, we've also become targets, unfortunately, and I think that's quite evident in recent news with our Black sisters dying in jails locally and afar, unexpected deaths, unexplained deaths. People tend to hate what they can't conquer, and I believe that we've become a strong force right now within the Black community, and for those who fear us, really for reasons that they don't need to, it's become more of a extermination process against the Black woman, and that is unfortunate, but it also speaks to our power. It also lets you know where we stand within the community as a whole and within society as a whole, that we are here, we're very present, and we're going to keep moving with forward motion and with revolution and change.
We have become so strong, and we have learned to overcome any obstacle, anything tragedy that comes our way, and we still maintain to be able to move on and keep our heads up and be strong for our kids, for our family, for those around us. So our past has really built us to be stronger women today, and to take on the things that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
To me, to be a Black woman in today's society of 2015, after all the events over the past couple of years, to me, honestly, it only heightens how I already felt as far as walking with conscience and being aware that I am a Black woman. And unfortunately, that really shouldn't matter, but it does. It's key. And it does change how you walk, how you talk, how you handle yourself in the place of business, how you raise your children. So it just heightens the severity of being a Black woman. I could just say the all alerts is all red alerts right now. It's being conscious and being aware that you are a Black woman, and that means that you don't get to just walk freely and say and do whatever you want to say, unfortunately. But to me, it's saddened because our roots, we are so much bigger than that type of situation, and it's a focus to walk with that awareness, and a focus to get back to that stature in society.
I think for me, the thing that pops out for me is that I'm more aware of the two identities, my Blackness and my womanness, being equal partners of me, along with my other identities holding an equal space. But more importantly, that those two don't supersede each other, that they are interacting together, and I react to them as a unit rather than one or the other. The other thing I think that I have noticed about being a Black woman in today's society is that I'm a little bit terrified of a couple of things holding the identities that I do around Blackness and womanness. And one is that I think, with the all of the things that are happening around brutality and the way racism is showing up physically, around a huge a part of the society, and also how womanness and Blackness is showing up within the Black community, and how being showing up around sexism, misogyny, and domestic violence, sexual violence, all of those things I think I've become acutely aware of in the last 5 to 6 years. One of the reasons is because I'm a woman and I know these things can happen. The other is that they've been in the news so much that it's been a visual all the time and hard to get away from.
There's been a lot going on that shows me Black women need to be afraid. We try and protect our families, and we are not able to because of different forces, like whether it's the police or whether it's our communities are kind of firing back at us, whether it's job security. I am lucky to work at a nonprofit right now and have some leadership that includes Black women, but in most workforces, like the one that my girlfriend is in, it's male dominated and it's white. And so we as women of color have a hard time not being afraid to assert ourselves in those workspaces.
I think it's a heavy negotiation. You know, you got to negotiate like your own expectations that are kind of sometimes your own true expectations of yourself, as well as like society's expectations and your family's expectations and, you know, all of that. So you kind of have to negotiate like all of these things and, you know, kind of figure out what your path is going to be. And I don't think it's always as simple as being able to actually follow it. Sometimes people are very strong and they can do it right away, and sometimes it might take until you 40, or sometimes it might take until you 60 or whatever. But I do think that there is a heavy negotiation. I think there's a lot of pressure on Black women to be a lot of different things.
It's very hard to live up to all of the kind of dueling expectations that there are of like what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a Black person, all of the preconceived notions that exist around who Black women have historically been, and you know, measuring us against other kinds of women makes it really hard to be authentic. And one of the really good analogies that I heard once was about like living in a crooked room and always trying to adjust yourself to match the angles that the room has set up for you, as opposed to finding your true north.
To be a Black woman in this society, I think, means to be in a constant state of limbo and flux. Because on the one hand, everybody wants to be like us, you know, whether it be looking like us in terms of our skin, our features, our hair, our style. People want to talk like us, but at the same time, even though we're worshipped, we're hated simultaneously. So I don't think we ever really, at least in this moment, it feels like we never really get a chance to be comfortable in our skin.